What is going on, guys? It is Evan here from Evan Sports Corner, and I'm back in another video here on the channel. Today, we're going to be starting a little series here as we are simming the NFL to 2050. So in this, it is the year 2023. The Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the Eagles just happened. And yeah, we got the updated rosters with all the new players, all the guys in the draft, as you're about to see. And we're just going to be simming the NFL till 2050. This will not be one video, though. It'll be about 4 videos with about 5 seasons per video. And we're going to see who becomes a dynasty in this sim. Who wins a bunch of MVPs. Who becomes one of the great players in this league. Can Bryce Young become a superstar and one of the GOATs? Can Patrick Mahomes dominate? Who will win a bunch of Super Bowls in the sim? We're about to find out, but I'm really excited to see what happens here over the next few videos. As you see, all the rosters are updated. CJ Stroud's with the Texans, Bryce Young's with the Panthers. And yeah, we're just going to get right into it. So we're going to sim to the postseason of 2023. And this is the playoff bracket for this season. So the Chiefs are the 1 seed as well as the Green Bay Packers. Both teams are the 1 seed. And then you got some other teams in there like the Giants. So we're going to send to the Super Bowl and see, can the Chiefs win their 2nd Super Bowl in a row. But before we do that, let's check out the yearly awards. Who had their season? Patrick Mahomes winning MVP. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, all up there as well. Baker Mayfield had a great year for the Bucs. Coach of the year goes to Doug Peterson of the Jags. And now in the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year goes to Chris Godwin, and Defensive Player of the Year goes to Aaron Donald. While in the AFC, Mahomes gets Offensive Player of the Year, and Von Miller gets Defensive Player of the Year. So nothing too crazy in this first season. And now we are here at the Super Bowl, and both 1 seeds making it. It is the Chiefs and the Packers in the Super Bowl. Can Green Bay get over the hump in their first season without Aaron Rodgers? And can Jordan Love get them a Super Bowl? We're about to find out. And we're going to sim the Super Bowl here and see what happens. And it is a win for the Chiefs. Back-to-back Super Bowls for the Chiefs as Patrick Mahomes caps off another MVP season with another Super Bowl MVP season. In the other seasons in this video, we will actually show the Super Bowl celebration and things like that. But yeah, we're going to hop right into the offseason. Check out what was an incredible free agent class. Nick Bosa, the superstar X Factor, heads to the Falcons. Chris Lindstrom, the former Falcon right guard, heads to the Raiders. AJ Terrell leaves the Falcons for the Eagles. And a lot of other big names. Antoine Winfield. But the big one, Justin Herbert, with a shocker as he betrays the Chargers and leaves for their rivals, the Las Vegas Raiders. And just keep an eye out for that big move right there, because that could have a big impact on this, as a lot of other players go to the Falcons like Jerry Jeudy and Chidobe Awuzie. And also Tua Tagovailoa leaves the Dolphins for the Colts, which is interesting. Unfortunately, I am dumb and skipped the draft recap for the season. I promise I'll show it in the future years, but you guys will see when I show the Rookie of the Year who went where. But Caleb Williams is a Los Angeles Ram, if you guys are interested. We're going to be using some real draft classes before we get too deep, and then eventually we use auto-generated. But for now, we're going to have Caleb there on the Rams, and at the end of the season, you'll see some of the other players. So here we go. We sim the season, and once again, the Cowboys didn't make the playoffs. I'm not really controlling the Cowboys. I'm just kind of observing from their perspective, but I'm not controlling anything. Everything is auto. So this is the playoff bracket in the 2024 season. The Chiefs, once again, the 1 seed. Check out the New York Giants at the 1 seed in the NFC. And one team to watch out for is the Atlanta Falcons, man. They got a really nice team. Ritter looking to make a jump. He's got Bijan, Kyle Pitts. Nick Bosa's on that team along with Jesse Bates. They could be really good. Caleb Williams ended up making the playoffs for the Rams. As checking out the MVP, once again, it's Patrick Mahomes, just doing it again. He is on top of the world right now in this simulation so far, as Amari Cooper wins Offensive Player of the Year, and Felix Anudike-Ozuma out of K-State wins Defensive Player of the Year. So the Chiefs might be poised to three-peat. Travion Henderson gets Rookie of the Year for the Ravens. Let's check out Brock Bowers on the Dolphins with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. That is one scary offense. Keyshawn Silver wins Defensive Rookie of the Year in the AFC. And then the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year goes to Cooper Kupp, returning to Offensive Player of the Year status, as Jay Jettis was right behind him, along with Rashid Shaheed. And Nick Bosa, in his first year with the Falcons, gets Defensive Player of the Year. So Nick Bosa already making a big impact. Offensive Rookie of the Year, of course, who else but Caleb Williams, as Kyle McCord wins it for the Packers. I think Jordan Love left for the Vikings. I think I forgot to show that, but Jordan Love is on the Vikings now. Interesting stuff. So yeah, those are the awards for the season. Now it is playoff time. We're about to sim and see who will be in the Super Bowl. Let's take a quick sim here. And it is the 1 seeds going at it again. It is the Chiefs looking for their 3rd straight Super Bowl. And they'll be taking on the New York Giants and Saquon Barkley. And this time we get to see the Super Bowl celebration. It is the Chiefs once again getting the Super Bowl W over the Giants. And the Chiefs are officially a dynasty. 3 Super Bowls, 4 Super Bowls with Patrick Mahomes. 2 in the sim as Mahomes hoists the Lombardi for the 4th time in his career. Already one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And in this sim, he might end up passing Brady in rings. 34-10. Mahomes 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, but Daniel Jones threw 2 picks. Isaiah Pacheco had a pretty good game. Kelsey was great as usual, as well as Brandon Ayuk, someone they signed. And there's the season recap. The Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Mahomes wins MVP. Pacheco wins Super Bowl MVP. What's new? So yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs have won 3 straight Super Bowls and 2 already in this sim in 2 seasons. Can they do it again next year? I don't know, but they're already a dynasty. This free agency class is pretty trash. Trey Smith was the highest overall player, but a big loss for the Chiefs is Felix Anudike-Ozuma, the reigning defensive player of the year, ends up leaving for the Buccaneers. So that could be a pretty big one. And David Montgomery signs with the Chiefs. And the draft recap. Cade Klubnik is the #1 overall pick to the Steelers. Travis Hunter heads to Miami. And then a lot of A&M players. Chris Marshall to the Colts, who in real life transferred. Walter Nolan to the Saints. Big defensive tackle there in the middle. And then we also have some more A&M products as Evan Stewart goes to the Texans to pair up with CJ Stroud. And then looking at some other players in this draft, Kelvin Banks gets drafted by the Cowboys. The UT product stays in state. Shamar Stewart, another A&M player. Lots of A&M players in this draft class. Of course, these are guys from their historic recruiting class from, I believe, the past season. So a lot of these guys getting drafted. And now we're back in the playoffs. The 2025 playoffs are here. And it's the Las Vegas Raiders who dethrone the Chiefs and win the AFC West. And if you guys remember, it was Justin Herbert who left the Chargers and signed with the Raiders. And now he is the 1 seed. And on the NFC side of things, it is the Panthers who get the 1 seed as Bryce Young breaks through. And the Panthers are the 1 seed. And some other teams there, the Cowboys made the playoffs. Green Bay made the playoffs with Kyle McCord. And the Falcons once again made the playoffs with their team. Taking out the yearly awards, Mahomes finally gets dethroned for MVP as Jalen Hurts wins his first MVP of the video. We'll probably see him do that a couple more times. Derrick Henry with a big year getting Offensive Player of the Year, and Myles Garrett getting Defensive Player of the Year. So not too much new as Cade Klubnik wins Rookie of the Year for the Steelers, who actually made the playoffs, I believe. Malachi Starks wins Defensive Rookie of the Year for the #1 seed Raiders. And then the NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to DeAndre Hopkins, who just continues to get better with age for the Cardinals. And he's balling out. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Chase Young of the Commanders. BJ Ojulari a close second. Jaleel Skinner gets Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Saints. And Sam McCowell gets Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Eagles. And yeah, now we are going to the playoffs here. We're going to sim. Can the Chiefs make the Super Bowl for the 4th straight year and look to win their 4th straight Super Bowl? We're about to find out here in just a moment. And we're going to sim. We finally have a new Super Bowl, and it's the 1 seeds for the 3rd straight year, matching up Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers versus Justin Herbert and the Las Vegas Raiders. So Herbert leaves the poverty franchise that is the Chargers, and he looks like he is about to win a ring with Las Vegas. They are killing Bryce Young and the Panthers in this Super Bowl, and that is it. The Las Vegas Raiders are your 2025 Super Bowl champions as Justin Herbert gets his ring with a tremendous Super Bowl performance, one of the best we've ever seen. As we're about to look at the stats, he wins a ring in Las Vegas, and there you have it. That is how the Season 3 of this sim will conclude. Herbert, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, while Bryce Young struggled in his first Super Bowl with 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But if the Panthers continue to develop as a young team that they are, this will not be the last time that they're in the Super Bowl. And Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow absolutely tore it up in the Super Bowl to lead the Raiders to their ring. And there you have it. The Raiders go from Derek Carr to Jimmy G and now to Justin Herbert. And the season recap, the Raiders dominate the Super Bowl to win. Justin Herbert gets his Super Bowl MVP, and that concludes Season 3 of this sim. So here we are heading into the 2026 season. We check out the free agency class here, and there's a couple decent names. Chris Olave, the superstar receiver, signs with the Steelers. He leaves the Saints. Jonathan Allen to the Jaguars. Joel Bitonio to the Patriots. Greg Rousseau to the Cowboys. Romeo Doubs to the Giants. But overall, pretty weak free agency class. Not a lot of star power, just a couple decent players. And now we are here in the draft. And as you can see, this is the official arrival of Arch Manning, who goes second overall to the New York Jets, as Keon Keeley goes to number 1 overall to San Fran. They lost Nick Bosa, so that could be their Nick Bosa replacement. But the main story is Arch Manning. Aaron Rodgers retires, and Arch Manning is now the new franchise quarterback for the New York Jets, and hopefully he will not bust like Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold. Nico Lamaleva could be the Drew Brees replacement in New Orleans, and there's a lot of good players in this class. Cormani McClain to Cleveland, and then we also have a couple other guys. Desmond Ricks to the Titans. Anthony Hill, who I guess they got the college wrong. He goes to Texas in real life, but he's on the Rams now, and yeah, he's going to be a stud for them for sure. Couple other guys you'll notice here: Caleb Downs to Dallas, Malachi Nelson to the Seahawks, and Cedric Baxter, Texas Longhorn running back, to Houston, and Deuce Robinson, big time tight end, heading over to Tampa Bay. Another Texas player in Jonte Cook. Peyton Bowen to the Packers, beast of a safety. A lot of Texas players in this draft. Malik Muhammad as well. So now we are in the 2026 playoffs, and as you can see, there are some new teams. The Falcons, a team I've been looking out for in this franchise, finally break through, get the number 1 seed, and the Jaguars out in the AFC with Trevor Lawrence making it out. And Arch Manning is able to lead the Jets to the playoffs as he'll take on last year's number 1 overall pick, Cade Klubnik, in the first round. Before we do that, though, we got to check out the MVP awards and all that. As Sam Huard wins MVP for the Chargers. Justin Herbert, if you guys remember last season, won the Super Bowl. Sam Huard actually broke the single-season passing record on his way to an MVP award. Joe Mixon gets Offensive Player of the Year. Miles Murphy, Defensive Player of the Year for the 1-seeded Jags. Arch Manning does not win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Goes to Hakeem Williams of the Patriots. Desmond Ricks dominates and wins Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Titans. And we'll check out some of the other awards as Cormani McClain finishes second, so the corners in this class were loaded. In the NFC, Dalvin Cook wins Offensive Player of the Year, as you see a lot of current guys. Felix Anudike-Ozuma just continues to dominate as a pass rusher, whether he's in KC or with Tampa. Dante Moore wins Rookie of the Year over Nico in the NFC. Surprising, as the Commanders found themselves a quarterback. And David Hicks balls out for the Bears this season, wins Defensive Rookie of the Year, but Anthony Hill gets second. And now we'll go to the Super Bowl, and here we are, the Super Bowl matchup between two up-and-coming teams, the Atlanta Falcons and the Jags. Man, I'm a big fan of the Falcons. They got Bijan, Pitts, a lot of great players, and for the first time in this sim, we have ourselves a really close Super Bowl. The Falcons have the ball late, down by 6, and here's Desmond Ritter's chance. Can the Falcons win their first Super Bowl in franchise history, or will they choke it away like they've done before as Bijan gets stuffed? 3rd down 11. Ritter looking, end zone, fires, it's a touchdown! It's a touchdown for the Falcons. Kyle Pitts, the 99 overall tight end, gives the Falcons the lead. And now the PAT from Younghoe Koo. It's up, and it is good. And the Falcons, all they need is one stop to win the Super Bowl. Lawrence drops back to pass, fires, and it's caught by ETN. With 45 seconds left, the timeout is called. This is the play. Will the Falcons be champions, or will the Jaguars stay alive? Lawrence, he'll take the snap, drop back, Bosa looks for pressure, and it's incomplete with a flag. It's a flag, and it's on the Falcons. Pass interference on the Atlanta Falcons. You cannot make this up. The Falcons always find a way. 2nd down and inches. Jaguars looking to get into Boswell's field goal range, and that'll do it. Ingram over the middle, gets the catch. They call a timeout with 8 seconds left. And now on comes Chris Boswell to win the Super Bowl for the Jaguars. It is up, and it is good. And the Falcons do it again. They choke, and Doug Peterson wins his 2nd Super Bowl. And the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence win their first ever Super Bowl. The Falcons once again come so close, but even in the sim, the Falcons can't stop choking as T-Law wins Super Bowl MVP, and the Jaguars have done it. They are the Super Bowl champions. We check out the season recap. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars get the Super Bowl, and we'll head into season 5. The Jags are champions. So here we are in the 2027 offseason. As you can see, the free agency class is once again not great. Elijah Vera Tucker signs with the Steelers, and Marvin Mims, who's turned into a pretty productive receiver, signs with Las Vegas. Jack Malone, a really good linebacker, ends up heading to Buffalo. And the best player in this class is probably Brian Bresee, an elite defensive tackle for the Miami Dolphins. And this is the draft recap, and we have our first generational player of the video. We went with an auto-generated class for the first time this video, and we found a generational player. Travis Fields is an absolute stud. 6'4", 227, wide receiver, 97 speed, 98 acceleration, 99 jumping, and 99 spectacular catch. This guy is for sure generational. The Texans have drafted our first generational of the video. As you see, a couple other guys here that are pretty solid. Quentin James went to the Saints. Darren Pryor to the Giants. Could end up making an impact at some point in this video. Stay tuned for that. But great to see. We have our first generational player. Unfortunately, he couldn't help the Texans make the playoffs. As we check out the playoff bracket for the 2027 season, Darren Pryor ends up leading the Giants to the playoffs, though. And the Falcons, of course, are back in it. The Jaguars missed the playoffs the year after winning the Super Bowl. And the Falcons are back in the playoffs looking for more. Check out the awards, and Joe Burrow wins his first MVP award of the video. Dante Moore finishes in the top 5 for the Commanders. Darren Pryor finishes in the top 10 for the Giants. So he's been really productive. Brandon Ayuk wins Offensive Player of the Year for the first-seeded Chiefs. Myles Garrett wins Defensive Player of the Year. Not surprising. And, of course, the generational wide receiver wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Travis Fields getting Offensive Rookie of the Year as he dominates. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Alex Holmes of the Broncos. And then the NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Devontae Smith. Smitty had a great season this past year, and he ends up winning the award. There's a couple other guys. Sky Moore on the Falcons. So the Falcons turn in these position players into studs. And then on the defensive side, finally someone is able to take out Felix Anudike-Uzomah as BJ Ojulari. I don't know why Madden blurs it out, but BJ Ojulari wins the award. And Darren Pryor, of course, gets Offensive Rookie of the Year after his great rookie year with the Giants. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to the #1 overall pick, Quentin James. And we'll sim to the Super Bowl. And here we are. This is the Super Bowl matchup. It is the Dallas Cowboys, the 6th seed, going against the 13-4 Ravens. I know you guys might think I rigged it for the Cowboys because I'm a Cowboys fan, but we'll go in and check the playoff schedule here. I did not touch a thing. No force wins at all. No force wins. They took down Dante Moore and the Commanders. They ended up taking down the Buccaneers. And the wild card round, they took down the Arizona Cardinals. So Cowboys had a great Cinderella run. Now they're going against the heavily favored Ravens, who have Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Travion Henderson's a superstar running back, and here we go. We got ourselves a really good Super Bowl here, 28-23. Now the Ravens take the lead. This is going to be a good one. We are going to hop in here as the Cowboys have the ball at the Ravens 27. First down and 10. Prescott to Pollard up the middle. He gets close to the first down. The Cowboys at this point in the franchise have Marvin Harrison at wide receiver, which is crazy to think about. Second down and 1. Dak looking to get in the end zone. It's intercepted. It is picked off by Kyle Hamilton, and that is just such a critical mistake for Dak to make. He might get the ball back, though. Lamar scrambles, flips out to Henderson, who's tackled short of the first down marker, and the Cowboys are going to get one last chance. Dak on 3rd down and 1. Pressure from the right side. He takes the hit, throws it away down the field, and this is it. 4th down and 1. This is for the Super Bowl. Dak looking, hands it off to Pollard up the middle. He is stuffed, and that should be it. We're going to just sim the rest of the game, and the Ravens are going to be your champions. But unbelievable. I don't know how this happened. We simmed it because we thought it was over, and the Cowboys ended up getting a last-second touchdown to win the Super Bowl. I don't know how that just happened. How in the world did the Cowboys just win the Super Bowl? I don't understand. We're going to check the replay after the game and see, but the Cowboys just won. I thought it was over. They had a minute and a half to go in the game. No timeouts to stop the Ravens, or maybe one timeout to stop the Ravens. but they get it done. Dak Prescott, Super Bowl MVP, and somehow, some way, the Cowboys are champions. I don't understand it. I mean, I just simmed the rest of the game because I thought, oh, Pollard got stopped, game's over. But clearly the Cowboys had other ideas. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys win their 6th Super Bowl. And in his mid-30s, Dak Prescott finally gets a Super Bowl and is now a Super Bowl champion. And that is awesome to see as a Cowboys fan, man. Great to see. Hopefully in real life the Cowboys will have a Super Bowl by 2027. But this is great to see. How about them Cowboys getting the last Super Bowl of today's videos? We're going to wrap this one up here in just a moment. We're going to check the highlights, and for some reason there is no evidence that this play ever happened other than the scoreboard. As you can see, the last play that it will show is that run by Henderson with 1:25 to go. But that is absolutely insane. The Cowboys are Super Bowl champions, and that should do it for this video. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed this video and want to keep watching more of this series. We're going to have a few more episodes, about 5 seasons per episode here. And to end this one here, the 5th season of today's video, the Cowboys are Super Bowl champions. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.